The AkzoNobel A-Coat Selected eBenchmarking service is an online business analysis tool designed specifically for the automotive collision repair market. It's an easy-to-use tool which provides our Sikkens A-Coat Selected members with real-time financial and operational benchmarking as well as customized reporting solutions. So let's take a quick video tour of the service. This is the daily reporting page, which is the first screen you see once you have logged in with your own personal credentials. We are currently set up for a demo account, and we are comparing ourselves to the East market, and these comparisons are shown down here. For each of these KPIs, the black numbers are identified down here as our demo account, while the gray numbers are our comparison group. We could change that comparison group to anything from just independents, just dealers, other shops that are in our performance group. If this happened to be a multiple location shop, say they had 5 locations, we could compare each individual location to an average of that particular group. The KPIs that are currently being viewed are called vital statistics. We can change that screen by selecting from any of these other reports. Profitability is a common one, of course. Let's leave it on vital statistics for the moment. So on vital statistics, we have things such as overhead as a percent of sales, gross profit per production hour worked, closing ratio, etc. And next to each KPI is a speedometer. These speedometers move as your numbers move, and depending on who you're comparing yourself to show you how well you're performing on that particular KPI. So right in here we see that as overhead as a percent of sales, this particular shop is not doing too well, but they're still performing very solidly in gross profit per production hour worked. Let's pick one of these in random. Each of these KPIs is a link that will take us into more information. Since this particular demo account is not doing very good in overhead, let's take a look at it and see if we can find out why. Or at least find some clues that will give us something to work on in the shop. The default page for all the KPIs is a bar view, and that's identified right up here by view. We do have the ability to change that. We'll come back to that in a minute, but first of all, let's look at the bar view. It defaults to the last 13 months since the last upload. So the last date that this shop has data for is September 2010. So it goes back a complete 13 months. We have September from 2009 through 2010. We can change that view by selecting any period that we want to as far as the from and to date. So if I want to look at 2 months, 5 months, 15 months, whatever, I can. I can also change the view from quarterly or to yearly. Once again, I can compare my change my comparison group here. But one thing that I do see is missing are values. I like to see numbers. So I'm going to click this little box over here to turn on the values. Now I have values on there. Sometimes people don't like a bar view. They like to see a trend view or a line graph. So we can change the view. There we see the line view, or line graph rather. We can change to drill down. Drill down can be very useful because here's where I can start to find out exactly what's impacting my overhead as a percent of sales. And it's called drill down because I can drill down. You see, we start with overhead as a percent of sales, and that's made up of total net sales and total overhead expenses, but I can drill down. So I just drill down into total net sales, and I see that that's made up of total gross sales, sales allowances, and discounts and rebates. I can further drill down into total gross sales and see that that's made up of these 4 components, and each of those I can drill down into further components, and I can keep drilling down until I just run out of things to drill down into. But now as I've drilled down, I can see my performance against the comparison. Here the comparison is in the blue, and for each one of these I have these little arrows that are showing me how I am doing and how my comparison group is doing. So I can see here, once we already knew this, overhead as a percent of sales, I'm not doing too good right here, but my comparison shop is doing pretty well. Well, if I need some advice, I can click this little advice button, and that will open up a separate window. Let me move it where you can see it. That will give me some advice or things that I can work on that will impact overhead as a percent of sales. So there's a very quick video tour. So now you have to ask yourself, is this something that you can use to help manage your business? Or maybe I should ask, is this something that you should be doing without in managing your business? How can you manage your business without this information?